Hi, in this video we will be checking out how to use deployment targets. Now, what are deployment targets? So, combining the functionality of promotions and deployment targets gives you a full tool set to configure secure continuous deployment pipelines. They are available on our startup and scale-up plans. So we can control who has the ability to start promoted pipelines. There's multifaceted access control, and you also have a clear overview of all your deployment history. Now you can easily see who has deployed what and when. Now let's set up our deployment target. We will be doing this in two steps. First, we will create a new deployment target for our staging environment, and then we will add this deployment target to our staging promotion. Now, let's get started with step number one. When you're located on your project screen, just click on the second tab called Deployments. Now, if you want to create a deployment target, we just click on Create Your First Deployment Target. So first we need to provide name, description, and URL address. So we're just going to name it staging for now. And the description we'll just leave blank. The URL address can specify where your final deployment is located so that you can open it up. And then if you are using parameterized promotions, you can also set your parameters here. But for now, we will leave this blank. Now let's go to our next step. Here we can provide credentials. So the environment variables that you specify here can only be accessed inside this deployment target, and only people who have access to this deployment target can actually view them. So for instance, let's add AWS S3 key over here, and then let's click on next. Now the next step is to actually set up who can deploy, so who can use this deployment target. We are going to select only particular users here, and you can see that you can set up roles or people. So for people, I'm going to set up another member in my team, Alexander, and we're also going to disable automatic promotions from this target. So let's click on next now. And okay, now you can limit which branches, tags, or pull requests can trigger this. Now we're going to list the setup minus semaphore branch as our whitelisted branch. So only this branch will be able to deploy to the staging environment. For tags, we will set to none, and for pull requests, we will set to none as well. Now let's click on next and create. And this is how we create our deployment target. Now we can see that this interface opens up, and here we can actually see our staging deployment target. We can see who can deploy and from where we can deploy. We've created our deployment target. Now it's actually time to add the deployment target to our staging promotion. So let's do that. Okay, let's go to our visual workflow editor now. Let's open it up and select the setup minus semaphore branch. And we can add a target to a promotion. So we're going to be adding our deployment target to the staging deployment promotion. So let's click on the staging deployment promotion. And in here, you can see that we can add deployment targets. So this is the area where we can select our deployment target. We're going to select staging, and we're also going to disable automatic promotions because we want to see how access control works. So let's save this now and let's trigger our deployment. So our pipeline is going to get triggered right now, and you can see that I don't have access to trigger the staging deployment. This is because we have a deployment target set up that only allows Alex from my team to actually trigger this deployment. Now let's change this and let's add me back to give me access to this staging deployment. Okay, let's edit our staging deployment target now. And let's add me to the people who can actually deploy this. So now, and we click on save. And now we can go back to the activity in our project, open up our last update, and you can see that I have the ability to trigger the deployment now. So let's click on this and let's start our promotion. And now the deployment is triggered, and we can go back to our project and to our deployment screen, and you can see that right here, we now have the history of our deployments. We've successfully set up our first deployment target. Now you can see which benefits we have by using this. We have greater control over who triggers our deployments and when, and we also have an overview of all our deployment history. This is particularly useful for large organizations and larger teams. Now, if you like this video, make sure you click on like and also subscribe for further content. Also, make sure to check out the links below. See you next time.